fine. It's on. Yep.
Well, no. Why can't? Oh, there you go. There's Mark. Yeah.
You have to put the
I guess John and Freddie. I don't see Freddie.
His name popped up,
Put
but
on your camera, bro.
You may have to turn on your camera.
There's Freddie.
There he goes. Okay.
This is Johnny.
All right. So I just want to say good evening to everyone. I'm glad that we were able to set up this Zoom call with the head coach of the Portland Timbers, Giovanni Savarese. Can everybody see him on the screen up top? Can you guys wave to him, please?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Gio was gracious enough to give us some time to have you boys ask some questions and maybe have a conversation about soccer. So, Coach Toma, if you want to say anything before we start, and then Coach Gio, if you want to say anything before I start.
yeah, I'll go quick. I've known Gio for many, many, many years. He was a great player, and he's become a great coach now. So having this opportunity for Roberto and myself to do this for you guys, it's an amazing thing. And, you know, hopefully Gio can go over some of the things that are really, really important for you guys as you're growing up now and becoming a little bit older and really like appreciate soccer, because this is what I'm trying to bring out of you guys, to appreciate the game, appreciate the process of the game. And like I said, I love playing with Gio. He's an amazing player and he's an amazing coach, obviously. So he's done a great job. So I'll let him talk from now.
Thank you, Toma. And it is a pleasure to reconnect with you. And you guys have the fortune to have such a great person to be your coach. I had the pleasure to play with him a few years, and he's a good player, very good player as well. So he knows about the game, and it's good for you guys to have him. And thank you, Roberto, to giving me the opportunity to be able to speak with this group. And Roberto and I, we played for many years in college for LIU. Roberto was a great player as well. He played so many different positions. Let me see, hold on one second. Let me disconnect this phone.
And for everyone else, if you guys want to mute your microphones until we start asking questions, that might be helpful as well. Sorry.
Give me a second, that way I can
Yeah.
disconnect. Blue data off.
Okay.
So try to.
Nicholas.
Okay.
If you can maybe, if you have a mute button on the screen, if you might want to hit the mute button just until we until you start. Yeah, thank you. Perdón, Gio, sigue.
No te preocupes. So Roberto and I played so many years in college, 4 years together. His father was my coach. Actually, he's the person that gave me the opportunity to be able to go to college, get a degree in marketing, be able to play soccer, and be able to also get an education. So Roberto and I stayed friends for many, many years. And so it is a pleasure for me to speak to you guys and be able to answer some of your questions and concerns that you may have. But even before we start, what I can say is that soccer is not only a game that you kick a ball and you try to score and you have fun and you play, you know, with the ball and a few teammates. Soccer for me has given me so much, has given me the opportunity to be able to get to college, to get a degree, has given me the opportunity to travel the world and see so many countries. It represents my country, Venezuela, in the national team, has given me so many friends worldwide that I'm still in contact with all over the place, and especially has given me a job as a player and also as a coach to be able to make a living out of it and be able to do what I love. And I feel fortunate because I love this game so much, but I've been able to, through soccer, have a job. And so it is the best part of all worlds, to do what you love the most, to become your job. But it is not easy. There's a lot of work to be done. It's a lot that you have to put in, a lot of sacrifice. And it's important that in the difficult moments, you are able to get up and continue to fight for what you believe. And if you do that, it is an unbelievable game and sport to be part of. And you always have to play with that passion and that love for it, because if you do that, soccer will give you so much, all the things that I already told you. So Roberto, if you have a few questions, definitely we can start to to move forward. And if there's some guys also that want me to say some things in Spanish, no problem. I'm from Caracas, from Venezuela. I speak Spanish, of course. So, we can definitely do it that way, Roberto, if you want.
Thank you, Gio. Those were some great opening words. Hopefully, the boys can relate to that and have that sink in as they think about who they are as soccer players and who they are as human beings. I know I sent your biography link out to all the families for them to read on the Timbers website. But that being said, Gio, I did put together a little nostalgic video that I want to share with everybody. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and then afterwards we can get to some of the questions. So bear with me one second. Can everybody see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So, originally from Caracas, Venezuela, Giovanni moved to the US in 1990 on a full scholarship to play soccer at Long Island University. In 4 years, he scored 50 goals, becoming one of the top goal scorers in school history. Immediately after college, he led the Long Island Rough Riders to a USISL championship and was named the league's most valuable player. In 1996, Gio was drafted by the New York Metro Stars, now known as the New York Red Bulls, in the inaugural season of the MLS. Gio scored the first 7 goals for the club and continued to be a central part of the team until 1999. Gio then played internationally with Savarese, Swansea City, and Millwall, while also representing Venezuela by scoring 10 goals, including 3 during World Cup qualifiers. Gio began his coaching career as an assistant at St. John's University before joining the New York Cosmos as their youth academy director, and in 2012 became the head coach, earning NASL championships in 2013, 2015, and 2016. For the last 3 years, Gio has been the head coach of the Portland Timbers, where he led his team to the MLS Finals his very first season, and just recently was crowned champions of the MLS Is Back tournament in August. They finished their last regular season game yesterday in a 1-1 draw against LAFC and begin their quest for the title when they face FC Dallas in round 1 of the MLS Cup playoffs on November 22nd. I consider myself lucky to know Gio and his family for almost 30 years now as both a fellow teammate and friend, and the Ramirez family is incredibly happy for his success both on and off the field.
Beautiful.
Sorry, there you go.
Thank you, Roberto.
No, thank you. So I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, so that being said, I figured we can go, the easiest might be in alphabetical order, okay? So again, Gio, this is the U13 FC Somers Via team. It's a group of 19 kids in total. So the team has definitely grown because this is the first season where they go to 11v11 on the field. So you need a couple more players on the bench. So that being said, if I start alphabetically, do I see Ryan Ball? You want to unmute your mic, Ryan? And you want to say hi to Coach Gio, and then tell a little bit about yourself and then the question.
Hi, Coach Gio. I'm the goalie. I'm half goalie, but Mark's really the goalie. I'm mostly I would say midfielder, like left, right. And my question was, why did you want to play soccer? What was your passion?
Very good question. So when I was little in Venezuela, of course, my father, my parents, they love soccer. They used to watch soccer. They were Italian descent, and they will watch the Italian league, Serie A, every single Sunday, and everything around the house, evolved about soccer. So I very quickly fell in love with the game. And my father used to take me to practice. I started when I was 6 years old, and I loved the game. I love the game. I love being around the ball. I remember from early, I used to grab the ball and bring it to my bed and fall asleep with the ball. And sometimes even the night, I couldn't wait to go and play the next day. And the thing was, first of all, it was because I loved the game, to play, to be in the field. I was very passionate. I love my teammates. I love the group, the teams that I played. I love competing, winning, and stepping on the field and learning more and enjoy the game. So for me, were things from early on that I felt gave me so much enjoyment that I was very passionate right away. And I was very lucky that my parents really put their part to drive me everywhere, to take me to the games, to be around, to make sure that they supported me on a constant basis. And I remember having a great youth because my teammates, we just had a lot of fun. And then if we lost, we learned a lot, and we figured out, what are the things that we could do better. And if we won, celebrate, but know that, we have to stay always level, because the game, that's what gives you the opportunity to make sure that you learn from the defeats and you learn from the wins. But most of all, that you keep on learning with the group that you are and your teammates to appreciate the game so much. Also, the game gives you a lot of learning lessons about life, because you trust your teammates, you trust the people that are around you. So makes you believe that a group of people together can make bigger things than only one person can. Also, the game teaches you that when you're brave and you have desire to want to build something to score a goal, once you achieve the goal, is a big reward of the work that the team and you did to achieve something important, which is the same as life. Life is not easy, because sometimes there's going to be difficult moments. But in those moments, like a defeat in a game, you need to figure out how to get up again and continue to work and fight to get back into the game to win the next one. And life is the same. So there's so many learning lessons through life that soccer gives you that I think makes the game be an amazing game. And that's why I was so passionate since I was a little kid. Good, Ryan. And also, how good as a goalkeeper are you? Like, what are the things that you love about being a goalkeeper?
Just playing, that's it. I just love playing. Mostly.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Gio. Is Joseph on? I don't see Joseph on. So for now, let's skip over to Nicholas Campoverde.
Oh, hello, Gio. My name is Nicholas Campoverde, and I'm a central midfielder in the number 10 position. And my question is, how did you go pro?
How I became a pro?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I was young, of course, my parents, they wanted to make sure that I had a degree. So education was very important, because in soccer, you never know how things will go. It's not always easy to become a professional soccer player. And also an injury could happen as well that can cut your career in some way. So my parents always told me it is very important to get an education for that, but also to be well educated, to be a good round person, and to learn in school the things that will make you a smarter person. But in my heart, I knew I had to achieve that, but I had such a love for the game. And I always thought in my mind, I really want to do two things. I really first want to represent my country in a game, to wear my burgundy vino tinto national team jersey to play in South America and qualify to the World Cup. And second, I want to achieve becoming a professional player because that's the direction I wanted to. And even though it wasn't easy, I worked very hard to achieve that. And when I was 15 years old, I got the opportunity to sign my first pro contract. And I felt so excited, but it wasn't easy because at 15, I was playing already with 30 years old, 25 years old, 35 years old players. So I had to learn very quickly how to be able to learn how to be a pro. I was happy because I was making a little money and I was able to, become my own person. But the biggest satisfaction for me was being able to put the jersey to represent the national team of Venezuela, which I did very early on in the U15 level, U18, U23, and the full national team. And I can tell you that there's nothing more beautiful than listening to the national anthem of your country right before the game that you're going to start. And you know that not only you're going to play a soccer game, but you're going to represent so many people that are ready to watch you play against another national team to try to qualify to the World Cup. So all those things are the reasons why I felt that that was the direction that I wanted to make. But there's a lot of sacrifice that you have to make in order to become a professional player. And it sometimes comes quicker, sometimes comes later. And you have to believe and work very hard to try to achieve that. But always thinking that education has to be a priority as well while you're trying to make it to the pro game. And the soccer gave me the opportunity to finish, as I said before, a degree in college that also whatever happened in soccer, if it didn't go the way I planned, at least I had a diploma to continue to work and be able to, find a job if I had to, because education for me was very important as well to become a more educated person for the future of my life.
Good question,
Thank you.
Nicholas.
And Nicholas, also, by the way, you're wearing a Dallas jersey, right?
Yeah.
I was hoping you didn't catch that.
You know that we will play Dallas in the playoff.
Yeah.
That's gonna be hopefully, after that game you will wear a Portland team jersey.
We'll have to switch jerseys.
No, they're a good team. They're a good team, and they have good quality players as well, and players that you can learn a lot from.
Yeah. Thank you for the advice.
Coach Toma, maybe an extra lap for Nicholas next practice. I don't know. Just
Yeah,
saying.
we'll see. We'll see.
Thank you, Gio, for that answer. I just want to point out to you boys, when Gio played for the men's national team of Venezuela, one of the games was against Argentina, which Gio scored a goal in that game and was on the field with players such as Diego Simeone, who's the head coach of Atletico Madrid, and Gabriel Batistuta. Ask your parents who that is in case you guys are a little bit too young for that one. But thank you, Gio, for the response. Freddie. Where's Freddie? Freddie I heard you scored 3 goals this weekend. Is that true?
Yeah.
Oof.
You should have scored 4.
Oh, should have scored 4. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have an important question to ask now. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Freddie. I play striker for Somers. And my question is, after you became a professional soccer player, what entertained you to be a soccer coach?
Great question. Because I have to tell you that while you're playing, sometimes you're not thinking ahead, and you're not, you live in the moment and you enjoying being a soccer player. But it came a time a little bit later in my playing career that I felt and I tried to figure out what the future was going to be. And one thing that I always loved was to be a coach. So I used to write my practices. I used to write, why do we do this? How does the coach train us? What is the purpose for this practice? And I tried to prepare myself to that direction of becoming a coach. Nevertheless, soccer had so many different areas. You know, they have the area of being a broadcaster and do commentating, which I did, is coaching not only professional, but also youth. And I did as well. Also becoming maybe someone that is in the sport inside an office and do a little bit more office work as well. And I did all of that as soon as I retired. But the passion, my biggest passion was always a coach. So once I started, I said, this is the direction. It's not easy. It's not easy. And the higher in the level you go, the more difficult it becomes, because you're very much judged sometimes about winning and losses. So how much you win and how much you lose. So it becomes very tough, and you can be criticized sometimes. You can be sometimes in a situation which, you know, you could be a little bit under pressure, but the reward that you get by coaching a group of, you know, players that they're all very different, it is an amazing feeling. Getting together to play all for the same cause is something that you love, and teaching them how to become not only better players, but if you can help them as well in their life in some way to guide them in some of the advices that you can give them, it is definitely a fun job to have. And since early on, I loved it, and it's definitely the path that I'm going to continue to follow for the future.
Great. Thank you, Freddie, for your question. Thank you, Gio, for your answer. Lucas, where's Lucas? I see Lucas.
Hi, my name's Lucas, and I play left wing. And my question is, how do you prepare your team for a game?
Great question as well. I think, first of all, we have to prepare a team prior to the season, which is preseason. That's the time in which we have to make sure that the guys work very, very hard to do the work physically to endure during the entire season. In that preseason, you play some friendly matches to get the team accustomed to your style of play, get, you know, the ideas clear in what you want from each position, each player, in what they need to do in order to be able to generate the type of soccer that you want to play. And once the season starts, then you prepare to each match with the style of play that you want to play, but also understand who you're playing against. So first of all is making a lineup. Who's going to be the lineup this weekend that is going to play against this team? You have to analyze who's healthy, who's not tired, who's the best player in the position at the moment to perform in that game, and then who you're playing against and how you're going to plan the strategy that is going to feel that you're going to be able to beat them by scoring goals, and how you're going to defend well that way they don't score goals on you. And one thing that I tell the players is who are the best players to manage that game to get the result that we're looking for, which is usually the win. So you prepare from Monday to Sunday. Let's say that you start Monday. Usually you give 1 or 2 days off during the week to prepare them also, because rest is as important as a good practice sometimes. Taking care of your body, taking care of yourself is very, very important. And then you get them to make sure that they are prepared for the game. And now during the pandemic, different than before, now we travel to the places the morning of the game. So we have a charter flight, we get to the airport, we get on the plane, we go there, we eat, rest a little bit, directly to the stadium, play the game, get back on the plane, and come back home. Recover the next day and prepare for the next game. So that's what we do. And also, Lucas, I hope that you are as good as the picture that you have before, as the lefty guy that you have behind your back.
Behind you. Thank you, Lucas. Thank you, Gio. I want to point out that, I was lucky enough to visit Gio out in Portland, and he invited me to the practices. And one thing I was really impressed by was they have all this video from the different teams and different games, and it's all put into this system where they can easily access and see different plays that happen. So as the team knows, we recently started recording our own games, and we've been putting it out there on YouTube for the kids to watch. so that they can see, you know, from the next day, the perspective of what it looked like. You know, what plays did they do well? What did they not do well? What could they have done better? So, you know, that's something that you guys do at a professional level that now the boys are starting to get a little bit more involved in by being able to see the games afterwards.
Very good, because that's what we call reflection. So we'll show those videos, first of all, as a group to make sure that everybody sees the things that we need to improve. And then I have my assistant coaches and I say, you know, go to this defender and do a private reflection video in the little things now that he needs to become better.
Wow.
So now a coach separated will take 1, 2, 3 defenders. So I have a coach that works with the defenders, a coach that works with the midfielders, and a coach that works with the strikers. And besides the group video reflection, we do also the individual. And then the day prior to the match that we're going to play, we have a scouting video, which is now the things that the team that we're going to play does, the things that we're going to do to them, set pieces, and all the things that we're going to prepare for the match.
Hey, Coach Gio, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think I have to talk to Roberto about getting me that stuff.
I charge a fee for that one. It's really impressive.
Good job.
I was amazed by the amount of video they have disposable to them from all the networks that broadcast the games of different camera angles that you don't even see at home. And I feel like they're able to access that and put it all in this collection. I mean, from corner kicks to set kicks, it's amazing.
Yeah, so we have the camera, of course, the broadcasting camera. There is the one that you guys watch on TV, but every stadium has also a camera on the top that has a view from the top that you see the whole field. And that's the best for us because we are able to see every player, their movements, what they do, where they are, where the ball is. So in a constant basis, we see the full field. And for us, that's the best camera. But also, we have a camera in the practice facility that also the players have access, that sometimes they want to rewatch the practice and the things that they needed to do better. So they'll go to Speedio and they have different angles, and the camera can go and zoom in to the play. So watch himself in that moment, the things that he did.
Wow.
And how he can get better as well. So we have all this technology that definitely is very useful and helpful as well.
Very impressive. Very impressive. Okay, Antonio.
Hey coach, my name's Antonio Davila and I play left back for Somers. And my question is, like, what are key characteristics you look for in a player, like when you're choosing players?
Great question.
Very good. So I will tell you that first, of course, we look at the position of need. Let's say, you know, we want to improve in the left back position. Okay. So we look at the videos from Antonio and we start trying to analyze Antonio. Is he the type of player that we need that will fit the qualities that we're looking for in that position? And then we say, yes. So he looks like the type of player that will be able to play that position. Then we go to the second part. Do we think that he's in the range price that we can spend to be able to bring that player to us? Because we have a salary cap, and the salary cap is like a budget that we have to manage all the players to stay on that budget. So then we say, okay, in that position, this player looks like is the type of player that could be great for us. He's in the price money of salary or, you know, or transfer market that we can bring. But ultimately, the most important thing, it is what kind of person he is. Is he someone that is going to work hard? Is he someone that has good ethics? Is he someone that is going to be a good teammate? And we find that out by calling coaches, players that the player play with, looking at his way of playing and how he conducts himself on the field. And after we do that analysis, if he passes that, then we go to the next part that is now, has he behaved well as a person in his personal life? And we go and do a little research about the person. And if everything fits the plan, but most importantly, If he's a good person to be in our good locker room, then we decide to move forward and try to acquire the player and bring him in. But it has to have the qualities of someone that wants to win. We want winners. We want people that want to come here to compete, people that have personality, people that want to, win over the position of somebody else while is still going to support the player that is in front of him. And that competition and that type of personality is what we look in the players that we bring in. And that way you can form a really good locker room. Because in soccer, locker room win championship more than what you do on the field.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
Yeah, great explanation, Gio. I think we think of individual players like a Messi or like a Ronaldo, right? But in order to win championships, as you said, you need that cohesion of the team. You need them to be a family. You need them to support each other no matter what, to go into battle, and that's so important.
Is believe in each other, because you know that we in soccer, nothing always is going to be perfect. There's going to be players that will make a mistake. There's going to be moments in which you feel that, that day things are not going to work out for you. But it's those moments that you require a group of players around you that make you believe, that you feel supported, that you feel, you know what, you lost the ball, or goalkeeper, you maybe made a mistake. It doesn't matter. We keep on going. And if it's today, the day that we don't win, doesn't matter. We get up again and we're ready for the next one. And we're going to try to make sure that the player that made the mistake feels more included than ever, to build his confidence and to make sure that we work always as a unit. And that is a way for us to be able to move forward. We in the tournament, in MLS back tournament, we had a moment in a game against Cincinnati, and we were winning 1-0, easy game. We had it under control. At a point, our goalkeeper made a big mistake. And right away, they tie 1-1. And the response of the team was right away to say, Clark, let's go. Doesn't matter. We're here for you. We're going to make it work. We're going to do everything to help you defend. We're going to help you make sure that we win this game. And we're going to make sure that you do as best as you can. No one mentioned the mistake once. Everybody went to supporting mode and winning mode. Yeah. We were able to go to the PKs. We won in PKs. And the feeling that the goalkeeper had was phenomenal, because he felt so much part of the group, and the group was so strong for him. That is so important in soccer. And that goes all the way to your age group as well.
And one last thing, knowing how you are as a coach, you extend that beyond your players. You do that with your assistant coaches, with your team manager, with your equipment manager, whoever the case may be, the masseuse, the therapist. It's one big family.
Exactly. We speak a lot about family, because we are a family, and about culture, which are two words that are very important. Culture is what the team believes in the locker room, and what is the type of environment that you want to create in your locker room. And that's very important. And it starts from a very young age in teams.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Tyler Ames. I'm not sure if you have the microphone on. It says it's on, but we can't really hear you. Oh, now it's off.
Can you hear me?
Yep, now we can.
Hi, Coach. My name is Tyler, and my position is either defense and midfield. My question is, what age did you figure out what's your main position?
Great question. That's a good one, because sometimes you will feel more comfortable in one position, and then all of a sudden there will be a coach that will come in and will tell you, try this position, because with your qualities, I believe you can be more effective in this position. And you can have, at that moment, the possibility to be able to have a longer and more productive career. Sometimes you find in the position that you feel more comfortable because you perform better in that position. And for me, it happened. I used to be a number 10. I used to be the midfielder, creative midfielder. And that was when I was a little kid growing up. But one coach came up and said, you know what? I think that you can be a really good forward because you have some of the qualities that forwards have that are inborn, that you were born with it. That feeling of, finding the ball in the box, getting into the spaces the right way. And he changed my position to play as a center forward. And it was spot on because I became a much better player in that position. And I feel that my career become better in playing that position. But I find also, because then I became a versatile player, in college I play center back. And with the national team, I play also as a defensive mid. What I will say is you have to have one position that you play very, very well. But if you are a versatile player, if you can play more than one position well, you become even so much important for a coach and for a team. And if your mentality is good and you say, you know what, wherever they put me, I will figure out what this position requires for me to play and I will execute, then it will be a lot easier for you to be able to be always in the starting 11 and for a coach to consider you even more to be an important player. So those are the things that I think are very important in finding what is your true position.
Thank you, Tyler. I think as Gio just touched upon, I mean, in that video that I put on, I showed the statistic of Gio scoring 50 goals as a collegiate soccer player. And that even with the fact that he was asked to play central defense for many, many games. Okay, so as he's explaining, being able to see different sides of the game helps you develop as a player overall. So, Mark Fine.
Good point there.
I'm Mark and I play goalie. And why did you pick to be a coach, not another, do something else for the team?
Okay, good question. Yes, because it's the thing that I love the most, that I felt it was the thing that I wanted to do that gave me the most passion. Also, it was the thing that kept me closer to just the line right there, close to the game. And I felt that I wanted to feel still what the players feel, that passion, that rush in your body of wanting to win. So I found myself that it was the thing that I loved the most. I tried doing commentating. I did 11 years of ESPN in commentating. I did a little bit at the beginning of U13, which I love as well, and in training kids. I did journalism in writing articles about the game. I did sporting director, which was selecting players to build a team. So I did basically almost everything. And ultimately, I felt that coaching was the direction for me that was the best. And I also felt that being in the professional level was the direction that I wanted, because I felt that it was, for me, the most excited that I felt and the closest that I felt to the competition of the game. And that's why I chose to become a soccer coach.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mark. And Gio talked about passion, and keep in mind, he's in Oregon, which is on the West Coast, right? But Gio's a huge fan of the European soccer leagues. So there's a huge time difference between, when the games are played there, we get to see them in New York and they're viewed in Oregon. Doesn't matter if it's 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., he wakes up to watch those games. That's his commitment to the sport. So
yeah, we start at 3 a.m., 4 a.m.,
yeah.
and by 8, 9, we probably watch already 4 games.
Yeah.
And we love that. So it's just a passion. But I will say one more thing also, that I also love, and this is something that is very important. I love teaching, because we as soccer coaches also become teachers. And one of the biggest reward that a coach has is seeing the success of someone that you coach, that you see them become better, that you see them uh, go to higher levels of soccer, that you see them create a good family, because you hope that in somehow you can teach that person, some values in life to reinforce what you already, what you are taught at home by your parents. So I think those things are great rewards. And I have so many players that are not with me now in my team that send me messages after we win. Coach, great. And then when I find out that they have their firstborn baby, then now they're becoming, more adults. It is a great satisfaction. So being a coach goes beyond the game. It is about the people that you see, that you participated in their life success for their future.
Awesome. Thank you. Danny Garcia.
Hi, coach. I play center mid. And my question was, did anyone inspire you to play soccer?
Great. Very good question. I think all of us have someone that we look up to and that inspires in some way to say, I want to be like him. I want to be that player. I want to be, and a lot of the times it comes with the team that you love. You love maybe Messi, and then you become a Barcelona fan. Or, you can be a Real Madrid fan and love, one of the players. So it's very much part of, your youth and your desire. And it depends how you look at that player and what you're looking from that player. That will be really interesting. So for me, when I was growing up, okay, there were so many good players. Wow. I mean, there was Maradona and Van Basten, names that probably you guys don't know much about. But my parents, loved the Italian national team. So I followed the Italian national team. And there was a player called Tardelli, a midfielder that I loved, okay, because of the way he played. But then when I became a center forward, I looked into what player looked the most like me, who I think I can be like. And there was a player in the Italian national team called Gianluca Vialli, who was a striker. And I saw so much in him that I could, learn from. And he became my idol to follow and say, you know what, that's the guy that I need to follow, I need to see, and became like, the guy that I wanted to follow. I was very lucky because many players that I loved growing up, I got to meet in person. Guys like Pelé, Messi, Del Piero, Van Basten, Donadoni, Donadoni, many players I play with. So I not only learn from them in Raul, I coach Raul, which is a player that, if you guys hear, is the second that scored most goals in the Champions League after Ronaldo. So these are players that I got to know personally, and then getting to know them also personally, it is amazing. So, we have to definitely have a player that we look for, that we can learn, and that we can follow. And right now, I think there's some good ones to look after for.
Thank you.
Danny, who's your favorite player?
Danny, who do you like as a player?
Probably Neymar or Messi.
Okay.
Okay, very good. And which one is your team? Barcelona?
Well, I like PSG.
A little bit more than Barcelona. Well done.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, great.
Very good.
All right, Nicholas Goncalves. I see you peeking up there in your chair.
Hi, Coach. My name is Okay, I play right back, and my question is, who's your favorite player to play with, play against, and what's your favorite team besides the team you coach?
Okay, so what team do I like to play against? What team do I like? You said, and what else? What was the last question?
Who's your favorite player? No, who's your favorite player to play with?
To play with. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys.
So good. So the team that I love since I was a little kid. Okay. Since I was almost born. I love that team because of the passion in my house. Is called Napoli, which is a team from Italy that they have a blue jersey. And since I was a little kid, I always follow them to be the team that I loved. The team that I always, kind of wanted to lose because even though I love them because they play so beautiful soccer, it was Brazil. And I tell you why. Because they always were the toughest team to play when they play Italy. And those games were amazing. So if we beat Brazil, we felt that we could win against anybody because they were so good. So that was tough. If I have to say right now, it is difficult to say because every game in MLS is tough and every team is difficult to play against. And out of the players that I play with, the one that I learned probably the most, it was Roberto Donadoni from AC Milan, okay? And he was national team player. He was my roommate. He was a class act. So he was someone that I imagine you at some point watching Cristiano Ronaldo on the TV, and then one day he's your teammate and you're playing with him on the field. So that who he was for me in some way. And I got to know him personally. I still keep in touch with him. And that's the beauty of soccer. So for me, I will say Roberto Donadoni.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Nicholas. Dante, I see that NYCFC shirt.
Hello, Coach. I'm Dante Gula. I'm a center mid. And my question for you is, as a coach, do you make a formation according to the players you have, or do you play like a formation regardless who they are?
Wow, very
Good
good.
question. Yeah.
Very good question. I think what a coach has to have an idea in the style of play and a belief in the way you want the team to play. Okay? And your desire is, okay, this is the type of soccer that I want to see. This is what I believe. This is the way the defender should play. This is how the midfielder should play. The attacking player should play. This is how my goalkeeper should be. You know, if you want the goalkeeper to keep the ball and move it and find the spaces and play from the back. But you can only achieve that if you have the players to perform what you believe. So if you don't have those players, can you find those players first? And if you go into a situation in which you see that you have different players, you have to be able to be ready to adapt to the players that you have to make sure that they become better players, that you play the closest that you can to your idea, but you have to make sure that you adapt to the quality of the players that you have in your squad, because there's no way that you can be so hard-headed and say, this is who I like to play, this is the way I like to play, and I don't care if the players are different, this is what we're gonna do, and it doesn't work that way. You need to be adaptable, and you need to make sure that you allow the strength of the players that you have to perform at their best, staying closest as much as you can to the way you want to play, and be right in the middle if you have to make sure that at the end, the team perform the best possible way. So you need to be ready to adapt to the players. So I think it is a little bit of one and a little bit of the other one meeting in the middle.
Great answer, man.
Thank you.
Great answer.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And
Nice
good
question.
Good luck against Orlando.
Good question, Dante. I like the strategic side of it, the tactical side of it. Okay, Trevor.
Hi, Coach.
Hello.
I'm Trevor, and I play left back. And my question for you is, have you ever got injured? And if you did, how did you handle it?
Another good question. You guys are asking perfect questions. Very, very good questions. A smart group. So I was very lucky in my career not to have any injury that was very, very tough that will keep me away for a long time. Thank God. I had a few moments in which sometimes I twist my ankle. I had a few moments in which I had a little hamstring. But probably one that was the most difficult was a moment in which I had a head-to-head collision in England when I was playing for Swansea City, in which I had to have stitches in my head and I had a little bit of concussion and I couldn't play for a few games. So that became difficult. I think sometimes, of course, we want no one to get injured, but also sometimes the injuries in the moments when they happen, they can be very important lessons to those players to first appreciate a lot more what they had. It will be a test for the players to show how much they have inside to wanted to come back as soon as possible and do the rehab. And when you come back, you will come back stronger and better. And for sure, you will feel at that moment, how much you have around you, the people that really care about you, that will help you to make sure that you come back stronger than before. And it's something that I don't wish to anybody, any injuries, but sometimes you can learn from those injuries to make sure that you come back stronger and that you take care of yourself even better next time in some moments to make sure that you prevent those injuries, hopefully, if you can.
It had the snake head, yes.
Good. Okay. Thank you. Tyler Robbie.
Hi, my name is Tyler Rabi and I play right mid. And what do you look for in a teammate?
Good. So first of all, I look to see if he's a good person, if he's somebody that I can trust, if he's someone that I can feel will be able to, hold on, let me move a little bit. That way the battery doesn't go away. Okay. So I will look for someone that I can rely on, that I know will be there for me in the moment that I need him, and that will also trust me when he needs me. Okay. Also, I will look for a player that can associate and make me be better as a player, because he's someone that facilitates the game for me. And I will try to do the same for that player to make it easier for him to play better. And also, at the end of the day, if he has those qualities, if he's a good player, then I'm very, very happy.
Great question, Tyler. Thank you, Gio. Julian, hold on. Let me give him the mic. Good.
Hey, Coach. I play left and right wing. And my question is, how often does the team train for? How long? And what do they do during training?
Okay. So we train basically every day of the week. Sometimes once we give off. Sometimes we have trained also 2 times a day, in the morning and in the afternoon, mostly in preseason. Okay. And we base ourselves in a few areas. First, we work on the physical part to make sure that you're strong. So the guys lift weights. They do what is called strengthening condition. We have a strengthening coach that make sure that the guys are feeling strong. And there's different technologies of things that we do that really are amazing. We even know, for example, when somebody didn't sleep well, because we do a test in the morning and we have a rate, and if it's very low, we have to be careful in the work that we do physically, because we don't want them to get hurt, because we know that they are in a situation that they're not as fresh as they can be. So we need to be aware of that. So thank God for technology, that we have a lot of information to make sure that the work that we do to get them stronger is done correctly. And we do it in the gym, but also we do it on the field. So how do we do it on the field? Usually when we do small numbers, 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, max 4v4 in different exercises, short spaces, usually those are for the players to be able to get stronger, to cut, to go, and move in a small area, and that way they can be stronger in a way. And in some days, then we open the space now for them to be able to be stronger and endure more on a bigger space, and we think about that part. Second, we try to make them better technically. How to pass the ball, how to control, how to shoot, how to head the ball, how to turn quicker, how to see things better. So we work with the player individually to make sure that they become better at doing some things technically. That way, when you think about, I want to pass somebody the ball, you can execute that quicker than you did before. Third is, how can they understand tactically how to play the way we want to play? For example, our fullbacks, right? Yes, we want to go up and down. But what happens when the left fullback goes forward? In one team, maybe the right fullback goes forward too. In another team, maybe the right fullback comes a little bit inside and keeps balance of the team. Or maybe, you have everybody go forward in a different way. So you have to make sure that all the players understand tactically what they need to do on the field to win games, to defend and to attack. And you do that through the entire week. And the last part is, now you play against the team. Now, besides getting them ready physically, getting them ready technically, understand tactically what to do, then you go set pieces. Is how can we hurt this team on a corner, throw in, free kick. And sometimes you have the guy that is going to come and put the ball in the back of the net just by one kick. But then there's other plays that you do that then you can change the game completely. And all that is part of what we do in training.
Good. Yeah, boys, and think about what Coach Gio just said. Even as a professional player, they still work on the fundamentals, the basics, passing, how your body's positioned during that pass, shooting, how is your body positioned as you strike that ball. That continues as you develop into a professional player.
Never stops. Any player, I believe, can always get better. And you have to always make sure that you stay sharp on a constant basis. For some players, it becomes easier, natural, but some other players become a little more difficult. Some players, sometimes they even don't understand how they do the amazing things that they do. But some other players, they work to make sure that they become even better, because they put the mind into to make sure they're sharper and they're better. Yeah. So either way, you always have to work to get better individually. And then little by little, how can I help my individuality make my team better? Because I will make my teammates be better by playing with me, because I will do everything for them as well.
Yeah. Awesome. Harper Ritson.
Hi, Coach. I'm Harper, and I play center back. And my question is, what is it like being a pro soccer coach?
To be a pro soccer coach, it has its fun parts, which is you go every single morning. I wake up every single morning to do what I love to do the most. So I get up in the morning saying, thank you, God, for giving me the opportunity to do my job, which is the job that I always wanted to do. First of all, Okay. Second is give me the opportunity to be able to interact with people, to be there to talk to my teammates. How's your son? How's your family? How did you sleep well last night? Did you rest it? So be there with a group of people that are my family, that I see every day on a constant basis. Then prepare a practice. I love prepare practice to get it ready. You know what I love the most is to make sure that the players, when they arrive to the facility, that they have no clue what the practice is all about. That they try to figure out. I see them from the window looking at the cones, when we see the cones, and then trying to figure out, what are we doing today? Ooh, it looks like 5v2. What is that exercise? We haven't done that one yet. Or they're trying to figure it out because it's like, they want to know what the game or the practice is going to be like. So I like to surprise them always in the works that we do. So I never do similar work. I do, yes, the same work in relation to what I'm looking for in the practice, but the exercises are always different. Also, what I love about being a pro is the rush of getting into the game, trying to beat Seattle Sounders, which is our rival, getting there, and after the game winning and seeing everybody happy after a win, or looking at the guys disappointed because we lost, and how we're going to be stronger again and how we're going to figure out to next time be better is something that I love. But it's not easy. You get criticized. Your job depends on wins and losses. You have to make sure that you convince people that are so different from each other. It's not easy to keep everybody happy. You have 27 players, only 11 plays from the beginning, and there's some guys that feel that they have to play. So it's a job that you have to constantly be on top to maintain everyone on the same page. And it can be quite difficult. It's not for everybody, but it's for those that love the game and are able to do it. It is definitely an unbelievable job to have.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I welcome everybody to Google Giovanni Savarese reactions when his team scores. I mean, some of his reactions, it's hilarious.
Very calm.
You see that, very calm. He doesn't even react. He doesn't move. John.
Hi, Coach. My name is John. I play center back.
Hello.
And I wanted to ask you about the transition between positions because I used to play forward and now I play center back.
Very good. So sometimes it's not easy. It comes easier for some players than others to transition from one position to the other. I think, first of all, if you play as a striker, you have to think, how do I have to play to be a good goal scorer? But you can become a better goal scorer by thinking how people defend. And if you learn a little bit about how people defend, then you can be a better forward because you can find ways to go around the defenders because you're learning how the defenders defend. But then if you get switched to now become a defender, in somehow your mind is to change. You cannot play the same way that you play as a striker. It is important to understand that a defender, yes, you have similar things on the ball, depending the team, the way he plays. You have same responsibility. You gotta have to build up, pass the ball around, make sure that you combine with players, but you have the necessity to defend, and you have to learn how to defend. If you're a center back, you need to know who your teammates are around, your center back that is next to you. If you play on the left, who's your left back, and build up associations with your group to make sure that you become a strong defense. Second, how can I defend better? How is my body shape? How is, the way I defend? Do I have to defend, stepping and somebody's going to cover, or are we going to go both at the same time to play the offside? So that depends. The coach who you have, how he wants to play, he will teach you how to play. But your mind needs to change. You need to understand you're a defender now. You're not a striker anymore. Yes, you can score goals on a free kick. You can score goals on a moment in which Maybe if you're a fullback, you can go forward. But your mind needs to understand, I'm a center back, and this position requires something different than striker. And if you learn it quick and you can play both positions, and you're smart enough to execute both positions because you have the quality, you become a much more important player for a coach because you're a versatile player, and versatile players that can perform at a high level and execute at a high level are very important for a team.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Great question, John. Tyler Solomini.
Coach, my name is Tyler Giovanni. I play right back. My question is, did you have the motivation to practice when you didn't have the days to practice?
Yes, great question. You have a good group here. Eh? Every question is being phenomenal. Okay, so you have to have motivation in everything that you do. In soccer, in life, in making sure that you keep yourself healthy, in keeping discipline in your life, and in doing your homework. So everything needs to be motivation, because otherwise it becomes very difficult. And with motivation, it comes passion. So if you're motivated, it means that you have passion to do that. And you have to find what really motivates you. But even, I will say, the most difficult days are those days that you are in somehow feeling, oh, I don't know if I want to go to practice today because I'm so tired. And I'm like, oh my God, I did so much homework and I didn't sleep well. In that moment, when you say difficult and your mind's telling you and your body's like that, if you're able to say, I am going to get up, make my bag, go to practice, and I'm going to be the best I can be in the practice in my most difficult day, that is motivation. That builds a mentality that is a winning mentality, strong. And that's going to not only help in soccer, it's going to help in life. If you're able to have that attitude in those moments to get up and be strong, to motivate yourself at the moments that you don't want to do the things that you want, that you had to do. And that will make you a much better person. And then if you do that on the field, it is incredible. I remember a preseason, Roberto knows very well, we went to Puerto Rico, and our coach made us practice 4 times a day.
In Puerto Rico in August.
98 degrees.
Okay, which I'm not going to say who it is, but is Julian's grandfather, which I'm not going to say who it is. So 4 times a day. So of course, the first practice, you wake up and you were like, oh, I'm kind of excited. The second practice at 10, you were like, oh, pretty good. I'm going to see the ball. And then the third practice at 3 o'clock, you're like, I feel a little tired. I don't know if I want to do this, but you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to try to push myself. And definitely at 7:30 at night, the fourth practice, you're like, I can even walk, my legs, my muscles. I can even go through the stairs. But you know what? At that moment, if your mind is strong and you say, I will find the motivation to find the things and the reasons why they need to make sure that I go and show myself in practice. But it's not only about showing up, it's about contributing. It's about showing and being my best in the most difficult moment. That will create an unbelievable mentality that will endure for you, as I said, not only in soccer, but in life. And in those moments, if you achieve that, you're going to be a strong person.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Very important lessons. Last but not least, Ethan Stuber.
Hi, Coach. I'm Ethan Stuber, and I'm a right back. And my question is, based on your success and being from Venezuela, do they train differently there than we do, and is it better?
Yeah, good question. One after the other. You guys, unbelievable. So, of course, soccer is soccer everywhere in the world, but in different places, there's a little of a different culture in the game. And even though some things are similar in the way you practice, meaning how you prepare the game, and you know, there's always something that you need to learn to understand, because the American player thinks differently than the South American player, and the European player is different than the African player. So you need to know their culture. You need to learn how they think. You need to learn their strength, and how, most of all, how can you get the best of them? So in my career as a coach, one thing that has helped me become a good coach and a better coach has been my experience in traveling around the world in soccer, in learning in South America, which is not all the same, because the mentality in Brazil is different than the mentality in Argentina. And Argentina is different than the mentality in Venezuela. 3 South American countries, but very different. In somehow similar, because it's still South America, but very different in the style of life, very different in the way they go about soccer, in the way they go about life in some way. Also, in different climates. In Argentina, there's snow. In Brazil, there's no snow, depending where you go. A little bit lower in south, maybe. So even within countries, it's different. So if you have traveled, if you know more, then you understand their culture, and you can help them even better to become better players and be the best version of themselves. So I've been fortunate also to play in England, to be in Europe, to have many players that I played that were African. I had players also that I coached from Asia, from Japan. So they're, you know, a little more reserved. They have different tendencies. If you can unite all this in the different way in cultures, but make one group that is strong, that the diversity makes the strength of the group, and it makes the group even stronger, then you have a team that is unstoppable. But you need to understand that you cannot be the same in every places. And some coaches have failed because they say, this is how I coach, this is who I am, this is what I believe. And if you don't turn around and do what I tell you, because I coach in England and I have to coach in South America the same way I coach in England, you might fail, because the mentality is different and you need to adapt. And it's not only as a coach, it is as a player, it is as a professional. If you're a lawyer, if you're a doctor, you need to adapt and understand the different cultures, and then you will be definitely a better doctor, a better lawyer, a better coach, or a better player.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Coach Toma.
Yeah.
Anything
Coach Toma's been waiting very patiently. Gio, on behalf of the whole FC Somers Soccer Club, the parents, the boys, myself, Roberto, everyone, I can't thank you enough for really, really doing this. I've taken this team about 2 months, maybe 2.5 months now. And the question that I have is, in your estimation, they're 12 years old. What should be the priority or priorities to develop them into better soccer players?
Yeah, great question, Toma. I think first of all, you need to, I think that there's at 12 years old, there's what we call the base. There's some things that they should already learn at that age. How to control, how to pass, how to, shape their body. If I'm defending, where is the player that I'm defending? Where's the ball? Where is the line? Where are my teammates? There's certain things that I will call the basics that they need to know. Then I will say they need to also work individually to make sure that they are better in the things that they need to improve, and also better in the things that they are already good that they need to become even better. So if I'm a righty and my left is only to get on the bus, you need to start working a little bit more on your left foot and try to make sure that you become a little bit better. If you're not very good, become a little bit better. If you're very good, can you do even better? Now, if I am my movements, how to find better tactically, because now it goes also, how can I find the game better? How can I understand the game better? And not only just follow the ball. Where can I be in a position to facilitate my teammate? That way I can, with him, create a better situation for my other teammates. So we're talking about first is a basis, individual technique, become a little bit more tactical, okay? Also, something that I think is very, very important, which I think in the United States sometimes is a difficult part, because I get players at my level that struggle with this, okay? Because they've been so good when they were younger that sometimes they didn't face too much adversity. And once they get to the adversity, I say, you cannot play if you don't put this and this and this, then they struggle. So it is about to make sure that you make tougher mentality, to make sure that they understand that some games you're going to lose, how to react, how to be better in those moments, how to sometimes is that I have to support the teammate that is the right back and that I'm competing with, but at the same token, I'm supporting with. How can I make him be a better player by me pushing him because I'm playing so well that he needs to play better, better to make sure that he stays on the field. So those things are very important. And then I will say, lastly, is what I call the ethics of the game. Because it is important always to treat the game with class, to respect the referee, to make sure that you play understanding that you're playing against the opponents, but you want to beat them, but you also want to make sure that you show them class, that you show them attitude, that as a group, everybody behaves in the right way, that you try to play the game the right way, that if you're going to go hard to a tackle, you go with goodness to win the ball. So those things that are the ethics that are going to make a better person as well, and a stronger backbone for a group that is going to achieve great things if they have those ethics within the team.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, to the boys, thank you for your questions. It's obvious that you guys put a lot of thought into your questions. I know it's not easy to sit in one spot for over an hour. You get restless. To the parents, thank you. I see you, Artie. I see you, Scott. I see a couple of them. Thank you for setting this up for your boys. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for them to pick the brain of someone that was not only a soccer player, but a soccer coach, and to give some invaluable information. So great job, boys. Gio, te pasaste, de verdad. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much for carving out some time. I know how busy your schedule is, and you've got the playoffs coming up November 22nd, FC Dallas. Nicholas. Nicholas. We will be watching. We will be supporting. So again, I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to allow these boys to get some insight that they don't normally get exposure to. So thank you.
No, it's been a pleasure, Roberto, Toma, to be able to
Thank you.
this group.
Hopefully we can meet up when you come down here in New York,
I hope so, and definitely, God willing, that we'll have the opportunity to be able to see them in person, you guys.
That'll be great.
That would be something that I would love to do. So
Beautiful.
thank you so much. I think it's an extremely smart group for the questions that you asked. I thought spot on, great questions. So it shows me that it's a very good group and smart group. Okay, I had a lot of fun. I hope that some of the things that I said can resonate in you to be able to help you in your life and in your future. And also, needed to say, I have to say, stay safe, stay healthy, make sure that you follow the protocols of this new era of COVID, and mask and be respectful. And I hope that, as I said, that some of the things that I was able to give you and explain can help you for your future to have a good life. Good luck in the games, and keep on loving this game, because it's going to give you a lot if you keep the passion that you showed today.
Thank you so much. We're very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Can we all wave to Coach? Say thank
you.
you.
Adios, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Take care.
Hablamos. Ciao.
Practice tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.